Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to our series of lecture concerning the course Phytotherapy and Health. And welcome to our fourth lecture of this course, Homeopathic System of Medicine. It is worth mentioning this course is designed for fifth year pharmacy student, faculty of pharmacy, and Elaine University. At the beginning, homeopathy means or defined as a system of alternative medicine based on the principle that like cure like. And in fact, homeopathy use highly diluted substance to stimulate the body natural healing process. Homeopathy is originated in Germany in late 1700s and remain widely practiced globally, especially in India and some part of Europe. In this lecture, we talk about the principle of homeopathy and the principle of diagnosis and the principle of treatment and principle of preparation of homeopathic remedies, besides the research in homeopathy and the funding agencies that available for supporting research and practice of homeopathy all over the world.
Uh, homeopathy was developed by Samuel Hahnemann. It is a German physician and apothecary. To understand the approach of Hahnemann in treatment, we need to consider it against the background of medical practice at that time, in which the use of apothecary based on leashes, bloodletting, strong purgatives and emetics, and preparation containing toxic heavy metals such as arsenic and mercury was widespread. During that period, the apothecary used this harsh treatment to treat a disease. Also, the using of various agents to ill patient. When this agent cause skin blisters or pustules or eruption, it is considered as a good treatment. In other words, استعمال الدراكس أو السبستانس للمريض إذا عملت بليسترز أو عملت روجز أو عملت بوستيولز أو عملت بثور، يعتبر هذا نسق من العلاج، إنه this agent can excrete toxins from the body. Samuel Hahnemann was dissatisfied with these harsh therapeutic strategies, and that is led him to give up the practice of medicines. When he lecturing in universities, Hahnemann described as raging hurricanes بأفكاره الجديدة أو التحورات في أو اعتراضه على الممارسات القائمة وابتكاره ل أسلوب جديد في العلاج اللي هو بالهوميوباثي. In order to define homeopathy as system of treatment or treatment approach, we can look at the meaning of the word in Greek. Homeopathy in Greek made of two words, homeo meaning similar and pathos meaning suffering. Then translation of homeopathy, similar to suffering or similar to disease. From this point, Thomil used Cinchona officinalis to treat malaria. He assumes that Cinchona officinalis, when used in healthy person, produce nausea and vomiting. In other hand, malaria in ill patient produce nausea and vomiting. He assumes that Cinchona, as it produces nausea and vomiting في normal person can be used to treat malaria اللي هي having the same symptoms, nausea and vomiting. His theory date back or he أو حصل على أو الثيوري بتاعته امتدادا من الثيوري stated by جالين وسكرويت وبقراط اللي هو الدكتورين of signatures. فجالين assume انه الهيرب اللي عنده نفس الشيب بتاع البودي اورجان ممكن يستخدم في علاج ال او المشكله في ذات اورجانز، برغم انه later on بقت في مشاكل في الثيوري دي. فمن نظريه الدكتورين اوف سيجنيتشر اللي هي stated by جالين، سوميل هانيمان develop his theory أو his rule في الهوميوباثي اللي هو like cure like. Same symptoms can be drug produce same symptoms في healthy patient can be used to treat symptoms in ill patient. سوميل هانيمان من خلال استخدام الكينين وقدر انه يلقى علاج للملاريا، واستخدام او الاستخدام الميديكال لعلاج السيفليس. ففرضيته انه هو باعتباره inquisitive او the very curious scientist عشان to develop his theory or principle of homeopathy classical homeopathy، هو سوميل ingested quinine، و surprisingly he discovered that انه الكينين can produce fever, chills, nausea and vomiting. This effect is similar to that produced by malaria in ill patient. كذلك بالنسبة للسيفليس، انه السيفليس بيعمل bone destruction، اوكي، بيعمل مشاكل في sterilization. فنفس الأعراض هي كان produced by mercury، فهو اكتشف استخدام الميركوري في علاج السيفليس. فالبرنسبلز في الهوميوباثي outlined by Hahnemann based on 3 basic principles. One of the first of them is that the substance which is used in large doses cause symptoms in healthy person can be used to treat that symptoms in person who is ill، اللي هو من خلال استخدام الكينين، انه الكينين في large doses إذا اداني symptoms في الهيلثي بيرسون، متوقع جدا انه هذه السبستانس can be used to treat that symptoms اللي هي produced in healthy person in person who is ill. Another example اللي هو استخدام الكوفي as remedy prepared from coffee bean which is act on CNS as a stimulant, will be used to treat insomnia. كذلك الميركوري في السيفلس. We can summarize this first principle إنه like cure like concept, or in Latin similia similibus cure natur. Like cure like, or similia similibus cure natur. The same substance produced large dose produce symptoms in healthy person can be used to treat the symptoms in ill person. The second principle is the minimum dose of substance should be used in order to prevent toxicity. قلنا ده واحد من الحاجات اللي خلت سوميل وقف against the current medical practice at that time إنه استخدام toxic substance في large doses can be harsh or considered as harsh therapeutic approach. Initially, Hahnemann used high doses of substance, but this often led to toxic effect. Subsequently, substances were diluted in a stepwise manner and subjected to vigorous shaking, اللي يسموه succession at each step, which is called later on this process known as potentizations. It claims that the more dilute the remedy, the more potent it is. It completely opposes the current scientific knowledge اللي هي عندنا حاليا في conventional system of medicine. The third principle is that only single remedy or substance should be used in patient at any one time. As summary, the Hahnemann principle of treatment in homeopathy إنه like cure like, the use of minimal dose, which is known as potentizations, or use of single remedy for treatment of the ill patient. We can add another principle اللي هي proving, اللي هي massing a picture of symptoms produced or symptoms produced في healthy person ومقارنتها ب symptoms in ill patients is known as proving. Hahnemann principle of homeopathy still form the basis of modern homeopathic practice, with the exception of the single remedy rule, which is ignored by many homeopaths in favor of multiple prescribing. As we said previously, Hahnemann in classical homeopathy treatment based on three basic principles: like cure like, minimal dose, and single therapy or single drug. In modern homeopathy, there is a development in the basic principle set by Hahnemann, which is change in the use of multiple prescribing instead of single remedy rule. Today, around 120 homeopathic remedies are commonly used. In addition to Hahnemann principle, the classical principle, homeopaths also claim that an illness results from body's inability to cope with challenging factors such as poor diet and adverse environmental conditions. In other words, the illness is not from body inability to adapt or to cope with changing factors such as a poor diet or adverse environmental condition. في المودرن homeopathic practice, the first principle an illness is resulted from inability of the body to cope with environmental change such as poor diet or environmental change in environmental condition. The principle number 2 in modern homeopathic practice is that of signs and symptoms of disease represent the body attempt to restore order. When the body starts to adapt or to cope with the changes, then the signs and symptoms are emerged, and this represents the body attempt to restore a normal order. The rule number 3 in modern homeopathic practice is that homeopathic remedies work by stimulating the body-own healing activity, or stimulating the vital force, rather than by acting directly on a disease process, which is that occur in conventional medicine. In homeopathy, the remedies work on stimulating the whole body, or the healing force of the body. So the vital force in homeopathy is expressed differently in each individual, so treatment must be chosen on an individual basis and thus need to be holistic. The vital force is different from each individual, or from one individual to another, so a treatment should be chosen based on individual basis rather than the holistic, rather than the conventional, which is all occur in conventional medicine. And thus the need for to be holistic. Holistic means that in choosing a remedy for a particular patient, a homeopath will consider the patient's physical, mental, and emotional symptoms as well as personal characters, besides like and dislikes. This is a holistic approach in choosing a remedy. A homeopath focus on physical, mental, and emotional characters بالنسبة للبيرسون. This information is used to select a homeopathic remedy with a symptoms picture that must closely match that of the patient. Information اللي هي collected by homeopathic from the patient in choosing the remedies كلها مع بعض وخدتها في symptoms بتاعت some symptoms pictures. Based on symptom pictures, the selection of remedy is selected based on a close match to the patient.
Diagnosis in homeopathy is not just naming the disease, or to give or to get the name of disease. It is more than that. It about understanding the whole person picture, including all patient style and form, including physical state for the patient, emotional state, and mental state, to select the most individualized remedy based on the whole picture of the person. So to obtain the whole picture of person, diagnosis in homeopathy require to describe their medical history and current symptoms, the whole medical history for the patient and all the symptoms, mainly the major symptoms including location of symptoms, sensation, and modality and concomitant investigation which or were required. Actually, particular attention is given to modalities of presenting symptoms. Modalities means the style or the form of presenting symptoms. That is, whether they are they vary according to condition of weather, time of the day, change of season. All these factors involved in getting the whole picture of the person: the physical state, emotional state, beside the relation of symptoms to external factors such as weather and time of the day and the type of season. The aims of diagnosis for a patient disease aim to gather information or detailed information on patient mood and behavior, like and dislike, response to stress condition, and action to food and personality. This detailed information help the homeopath practitioner to build symptoms picture, and symptoms picture matched with drug picture in materia medica or homeopathic materia medica to get or to start the treatment. So the end of diagnosis result in symptoms picture, and symptoms picture matched to drug picture that written on homeopathic materia medica to get the treatment. Here is example for copy of materia medica, homeopathic materia medica for nurses, which is issued on 1922. After getting the patient symptoms picture and matching the symptom picture with drug picture in homeopathic materia medica, so the practitioner start to prescribing the treatment or the medication. And actually, the practitioners always attempt to identify single medicine which correspond to the general symptoms picture. In practice or in homeopathic practice, the practitioner try to get a single drug to correspond the general symptoms picture that drawn from the patient symptoms history. In fact, in homeopathic practice, two patients with identical diagnosis may receive different medicines. And maybe same diagnosis for the name of disease, but they receive different medicines due to the other factors that involved in drawing the symptoms picture, including the person like and dislike, emotional state, and the relation between these symptoms and environmental factors such as the time of the day and so on. We said in previous slide, the practitioner try to use single medications to meet all or treat all the symptoms picture. Sometimes treatment involve 2 or 3 doses of single drug or single medicines, and in other cases, medicine is prescribed in regular daily doses for 2 to 6 weeks. So, in homeopathy, using single drug with 2 or 3 doses, and sometimes maybe regular daily until from 2 to 6 weeks. And the practitioner try to follow up the case and to check the suitability of prescribing drug and progressing the case. Actually, many homeopathic practitioners successfully treat a lot of chronic and recurrent conditions such as rheumatism, asthma, migraine, fatigue, and IBS, bowel syndrome, and urinary tract infection. Actually, these chronic diseases, most of them failed to be treated in conventional medicine or in traditional medicine. And in homeopathy, according to literature, a lot of homeopathic practitioners successfully treat such like chronic and recurrent for type of homeopathic remedies that used in homeopathy practice. Actually, most of these homeopathic remedies are natural and originate from a plant, and about 65% of homeopathic remedies originate from plant, and as we mentioned previously, they used in highly dilute concentration, most of them highly dilute concentration, and when compared to herbal medicine, which are used at material strengths. And the homeopathy based on the molecular power or the energetic power of highly diluted plant extract or highly diluted medications. The origin of homeopathic remedies, most of them are natural, and they may originate from minerals such as gold, or from plant and from animals such as bees and honeybees, and many other natural sources. In practice, or in modern medicine or Western medicine practice, there are a lot of conventional treatment that used in Western medicine based on their homeopathic or similar to homeopathic effect. That means these conventional drugs or treatment discovered and used in conventional medicine based on their or based on the same the classical principle of treatment, which like treat like that adopted by homeopathy. Example of this conventional treatment: methyl phenidate hydrochloride, which is used for hyperreactivity, and digitalis. Digitalis now is used for in conventional medicine used for treatment of heartbeat, and actually digitalis produce the same effect on the heart muscle, can increase or can affect the heart rate or heartbeat. And aspirin used for fever and GIT bleeding, and actual aspirin produce the same effect, reduce bleeding or can reduce gastric ulcer or gastritis. Another example, radiation, chemotherapy, red pepper or capsicum for pain, and quinine for malaria. As we know, quinine obtained from cinchona bark, and the last example, GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, that used for narcolepsy, and for the same effect can be used in conventional medicine for treatment of narcolepsy. After we know the type and origin of homeopathic remedies, now we can take some look on preparation of this homeopathic remedy. So, as we know, homeopathic remedies are highly diluted drugs or medications, and the starting point for production of homeopathic remedies is using the stock solution, or known as mother tincture, and it's usually alcohol and water extract. Alcohol and water extract from crude plant material, which is known as mother tincture. From this mother tincture, the dilution is started according to the requirement. There are different type of serial dilution. One of them is known as decimal. That means dilution step one from mother tincture to add 10 times or 10 x of water or alcohol. And decimal dilution denoted as D or X. Another type of dilution known as centidecimal. And centidecimal means dilution of one part of mother tincture and dissolve it in 100 part of diluent or solvent. And centidecimal dilution denoted as C or CH. CH scale or C scale for centidecimal and D or X for decimal scale. For example, for decimal dilution, we said 1x or D1. So to prepare this decimal solution, we take one part from mother tincture and adding 9 part in the 9 part of diluent, or known as solvent or diluent. 1 part from mother tincture to add 9 parts of diluent. We can make a decimal scale or decimal dilution. For highly toxic remedies or highly toxic drugs such as aconite and belladonna, we use a lower dilution, and these homeopathic remedies classified as prescription oil or BOM or BOM in UK, because they are highly toxic. And as we know, aconite and belladonna containing alkaloids and classified as toxic secondary. Preparation of homeopathic remedies, actually there are 3 essential processes involved in preparation. One of them is serial dilution, and the main aim of this step is to reduce toxicity of the original colloid drug in sequential order. And as we know in the previous lecture, there are a lot of there's some type of dilution scales, decimal or centidecimal. The second step is second principle is succession and titration. Succession means shaking serially, which means dilution with shaking or with agitation, and titration is continuous grinding of powder in mortar. That means succession is for liquid and titration is shaking for a powdered material or a solid material. So the aim of succession and titration, both of them making movement or agitation or shaking for a diluted drug. The aim of agitation or succession and titration is to deliver the power to preparation, because the curative characters of original drug recorded upon molecule diluent. So the movement can let the molecule get energy, and through this energy can exert its effect rather than its concentration. And that means homeopathy based on the molecule level for the drug. And as we know, the Avogadro number of element means number of elementary particles or molecules per 1 mole of substance. And 1 mole of substance contain 6.022 multiplied by 10 power 23 Avogadro number. This is the 1 molecule of substance containing Avogadro number, and this Avogadro number with shaking is responsible for therapeutic effect of homeopathic remedies based on homeopathic principle and theory. The third process in homeopathic preparation after serial dilution and succession and trituration is potentization. Potentization means all the synonyms is dynamization, and that means the process of serial dilution and succession and trituration transform the crude material to energetic remedies that act on the body vital force. So through potentizations, the drug is basically a physical process. That means potentization is physical process by which the latent curative properties of the drug are activated. So for preparation of homeopathic potencies, that we have 3 major scale, as we mentioned previously: decimal, centidecimal, and millisimal. These 3 potentization scales, which means the serial dilution scale for homeopathic remedies. So in homeopathic drug preparation, the greater potentization of the drug, the more will be the curative abilities. That means they use the highest dilution level of the drug that coincide or equal the highest curative level of or the higher curative ability of the drug to treat the diseases. To get the more diluted homeopathic preparation, homeopath practitioner invented a machinery that make potencies with various dilutions. And the potencies or the serial dilution obtained by invented machine known as high fusion potencies. High fusion potencies. It is the type of potencies of the high potencies obtained by invented machine invented machine obtained or invented by homeopaths practice. Concerning research activities and funding in homeopathy practice in UK, the largest homeopathic hospital that belong to NHS, which means National Health Services, the public healthcare system in United Kingdom. A significant improvement in 70 patients that is on homeopathy. Also, over 6,500 consecutive patients took part in the study. Actually, a wide range of chronic diseases are were treated successfully using homeopathy, such as one of the chronic diseases, including eczema, asthma, and migraine, beside IBS and menopausal problem, arthritis, depression, and chronic fatigue. The most marked improvement were seen also on children, 89% under 60s, with asthma also improved, and 75% felt better or much better, as did 86 of eczema patients under 16 years of age. Research in homeopathy in UK until until 2016 can be carried out through NH Homeopathic Hospital. Unfortunately, after this date, 2016, the NH no longer operate homeopathic hospital, and the funding for homeopathic studies is decreased, and the remaining of homeopathic hospital is now termed or converted to Royal London Homeopathic Hospital, which actually renamed and reproposed as Royal London Hospital for Integrated Medicine. That means there is a shift in funding for homeopathic research of homeopathic practice to be under umbrella of integrated medicine, and changing of homeopathic hospital to Royal London Hospital for integrated medicine. Regarding the general idea globally about the scientific view or scientific idea about homeopathy practice is still remain doubting or skeptical due to different outcome. Actually, recent research in homeopathy revealed mix of experimental finding, including clinical trials, and still ongoing on debate because the finding is variable. While some studies suggest biological effect beyond placebo, the mainstream remaining doubting due to methodological concern and ultra dilution principles. And actually, the doubting regard the methodology for homeopathy and the ultra dilution principle that followed in homeopathy. There's some debate about it. The global research background in homeopathy also varies from country to another, with India as leading population use institution support for homeopathy, actually 83% usage, while in Germany and Switzerland supported research in homeopathy, also support regulated homeopathic practice and research. In UK, as we stated previously, UK NHS, National Health Service, largely withdraw funding through NHS system, funding for homeopathy. Although the funding is changed to another umbrella concerning integrative medicine centers or integrative medicine hospitals. Globally, the regulation of homeopathy practice and registration of homeopathy practitioner can be carried through societies of homeopath and faculties of homeopaths as academic institution beside regulatory governmental regulatory authorities. In fact, the regulation of homeopathy practice may be varied across countries, different from country to another. And actually, some require medical license and formal registration, while others have minimal concern or minimal oversight and classify or treat the homeopathic practice under umbrella of complementary therapy. In Europe, the variation is very wide. We find countries like France and Germany in support regulated practice, while others restrict or even discourage homeopathic practice. With regard to registration of homeopathic practitioners and type, also regulation of remedies used in homeopathy, the status is different from country to another. For example, in many Europe countries, except UK, registration of practitioner is important, and only licensed medical doctor will practice homeopathy. While in India and Latin America, the homeopathic physician require training in dedicated college and registered nationally. That means in India, for homeopathic physician require training and registration. While in UK, as exception from other European countries, voluntary registers exist. For example, Society of Homeopath, but they lack statutory authority. With regard to remedies used in homeopathy, also should be regulated in different umbrella and different laws depending on countries. In UK, the homeopathic remedies are registered under MIHRA, Ministry of Medicine and Health Product Regulation Agency, while in USA, registration of homeopathy under FDA law, Food and Drug Agency, while in India, registered under the umbrella of Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, and Siddha and Homeopathy, which acronyms as Ayush. Requirements also for registration vary. Some demand proof the safety and traditional use. Some countries enough to will address safety and traditional use, and others to be registered under their health authorities require full clinical data to ensure the efficacy and safety of homeopathic remedies. One of the important committees that regulate homeopathy practice and registration of homeopathic practitioner is European Community of Homeopathy, which abbreviated as EACC. EACC represents medical doctor with additional homeopathy qualification across 20 countries in Europe. It represents medical doctors of having training and educated in medical college, but have additional qualification in homeopathy. The aim of AACC is to promote standardized education, ethical practice, and regulatory harmonization for homeopathy all over European countries. It actually offers a country by country map of registered institutes. For more information, you can check the website for EACC in EACC community in Europe for homeopathy.